You are going to die. And when that day comes, when you're staring at the ceiling, gasping for your last breath, the only thing ripping through your mind will be this. Did I waste my life? Did I throw away my potential? Did I let fear, laziness, and bullshit excuses rob me of everything I could have been? You'll remember every moment you were too soft to push through. Every morning you hit snooze instead of rising like a fucking warrior. Every time you let pain defeat you instead of letting it forge you into something unstoppable. And when that moment comes, it's game over. No more chances, no more time, no more building the empire, the body, the discipline, the legacy you were meant to leave behind. Because the truth is brutal. The only thing standing between you and the man you could be is your tolerance for suffering. That's it. Every great man paid in pain. Every winner chose struggle while losers chose comfort. Champions are not made in ease. They're made in hell. So what the fuck are you going to do? Are you going to rise? Or are you going to die with regret, knowing you were too weak to pay the price of greatness? Because that price has to be paid. And if you don't pay it now, in sweat, blood, and relentless fucking discipline, you will pay it later in shame, failure, and regret. You think life's unfair. You think success is some magical reward handed to the lucky ones. Wake up. Success is savage, it's cold. It's earned. And it only bows to the men who are willing to rip themselves apart and rebuild into something stronger. If you wake up every day looking for the easy way, you've already fucking lost. Life doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't give a fuck about your emotions. It gives a fuck about results. And those results, they go to the ones who are willing to fucking suffer for them. You want willpower. Stop waiting to feel like it. Stop waiting for some magical burst of motivation. That shit's a lie. The right moment is now. It's always been now. The weak wait. The strong fucking move. The problem with most men today is they've been programmed to fear pain. They've been told suffering is bad. Discomfort is bad. That happiness is found in ease, in luxury, in softness. But look around. Who's the most miserable? The ones wrapped in comfort. The ones who've never had to fight for anything. The ones who fucking crumble the second life hits them in the mouth. Comfort breeds weakness. And weakness leads to a life of regret. You have to understand this. Suffering is the fucking foundation of strength. Without it, you're nothing. Without it, you'll never build the willpower to accomplish anything worth a damn. Most people quit the moment shit gets hard. They start a workout and bitch about soreness. They try to build a business, and the first setback sends them running back to their safe little comfort zone. They say they want to change. But the second pain shows up. They fold like weak little cowards. That's why they stay broke. That's why they stay average. That's why they never fucking win. If you only do what's easy, your life will be hard as fuck. But if you do what's hard, what burns, what breaks you down? Your life becomes a weapon. The pain you feel today is the fucking price tag on the strength you'll carry tomorrow. But most people don't want to pay. They want the reward without the grind. They want the trophy without the war. That's why they lose. That's why they live soft, forgettable lives. Discipline is doing what the fuck you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in is gone. That's the line. That's the edge. That's the difference between killers and losers. Every single day you have two options. Embrace the pain or run like a little bitch. And every time you run, you chip away at your own strength. Every time you hit snooze, skip the workout, take the easy road, you're reinforcing weakness. You're becoming exactly the kind of man the world eats alive. Then one day you'll wake up at 40, broke, soft, and full of regret. You'll look in the mirror and know exactly when it went wrong. It was the moment you started ducking discomfort like a coward. You think the monsters at the top got there by feeling good every day. Fuck no, they dragged themselves through the fire. They bled when no one was watching. They pushed when their minds screamed quit. They crushed pain until it bowed down to them. That's why they fucking dominate. And you're still stuck wishing. Suffer now or suffer forever. That's the truth. You either pay in blood, sweat, and discipline today, or you'll pay in shame, failure, and fucking misery tomorrow. And don't think anyone's coming to pull you out of the hole. No one's coming. No one gives a fuck. There's no shortcut, no cheat code, no magical answer. It's just you, your fucking will, and your tolerance for pain. Every real man who built anything powerful understood one thing. Pain is the goddamn gateway to power. Your body will quit before your mind. Your mind will beg you to stop. And that's where the war begins. That's when the weak fold and the strong fucking rise. That's when you dig deeper, go harder, and tear the weak version of yourself to pieces. That's when you become fucking dangerous. It's supposed to be hard. If it were easy, every weak motherfucker out there would be doing it. The fact that it's hard is what makes it valuable. That's what makes it worth something. You think greatness is handed out? Fuck no, it's earned. In pain, in sweat, in silence. If you're sitting around waiting for motivation, you've already lost. Motivation is for soft men. It's for the emotional. It's for the undisciplined. It comes and goes like a little bitch. But discipline is what makes killers. Discipline is what separates men from boys. Discipline is waking up and doing the work, even when every cell in your body is begging you to quit. Discipline is showing up when your back's against the wall, when your body's broken, when your mind's screaming for comfort, and you tell it to shut the fuck up and move. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret crushes your fucking soul. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to wake up years from now with nothing but broken dreams and bullshit memories of all the times you gave up. So I'll ask you straight. Are you willing to suffer? Are you willing to endure real fucking pain? Because if you are truly ready to bleed for it, then nothing can stop you. No obstacle, no failure, no setback, no betrayal, no fucking thing on this earth will break you. Willpower isn't something you're born with. It's something you earn. It's forged in the fire of struggle. It's built through days where you want to quit and choose not to. Through nights where no one believes in you. But you believe in yourself anyway. And once you embrace that, once you truly understand that suffering is the currency of greatness, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of man who doesn't just survive. He dominates. Now go out there and fucking earn your greatness. There comes a point in every man's life where he has to make a choice. Stay weak or suffer his way to greatness. Some men rise. They embrace the pain. They turn themselves into fucking weapons. Others, they run, they hide, they settle. They die long before they're buried. The difference between those two types of men isn't luck. It isn't IQ. It isn't talent. It's willpower. It's the ability to suffer without tapping out. The ability to take hit after hit and keep fucking moving. Every great man you've ever heard of, they all had to make that choice. And the ones who chose suffering, the ones who said fuck comfort, they became legends. Because suffering is not a punishment. It's a test. And most people fail that test. They fold. They break. They fucking disappear. Take a look at the man who refused to fucking fail. David Goggins. This was a man who had every excuse in the world to quit. Fat, out of shape, broken, fucking miserable. He could have stayed that way. He could have blamed his childhood, pointed fingers, and lived his entire life as a loser. But he didn't. He made a choice. A choice to suffer, to tear himself apart, and rebuild into something unbreakable. He ran when his lungs felt like they were on fire. He trained when his knees were shot. He moved when his body screamed stop. He didn't do it because it felt good. He didn't do it because it was easy. He did it because he had to. He understood one thing. Pain is the only path to power. That's what separates the warriors from the weak little bitches crying about how unfair life is. Most people will never get this. They whine, they moan, they bitch about how hard life is. It's not fair. It's too hard. Shut the fuck up. Life doesn't give a shit. It doesn't hand out rewards for victimhood. It rewards the men who grind through the pain, who show up broken, tired, bleeding, and still fucking fight. Nobody gives a fuck about your excuses. The world only respects one thing: results. You either become the man who pushes through the suffering or you become the man who gets left behind. That's it. That's the choice. And every single fucking day, you're making that choice by how you act. You getting up early and smashing the day. Or you lying in bed like a coward, cuddled up with weakness. You pushing through when shit gets hard. Or you folding the second discomfort shows up. You forcing yourself into the fire to become something more. Or you hiding behind comfort like a scared little punk. Suffering is not the enemy. Weakness is. Weakness is the disease that keeps men small. It's the parasite that keeps them broke, out of shape, invisible. You want to kill weakness. There's only one cure: suffering. You think the greatest men in history were born with some secret gift. Fuck no, they became great because they embraced pain. They lived in the struggle. They became addicted to the pressure. They made suffering their home. And that's why no one could fucking touch them. The more you suffer, the stronger you get. That's the fucking secret no one wants to hear. Because it means there's no shortcuts. It means you've got to bleed, burn, and crawl through hell to get what you want. And most people, they don't have the balls to handle that truth. But you're not most people. You have the power to make the choice right fucking now. To stop running from pain, to stop looking for the easy route, to stop hiding behind comfort like a scared little bitch, to step the fuck up and take control of your destiny. Look around. Look at all the men who took the easy road. They're everywhere, slouched over, lifeless, broken shells of what they could have been, wasted potential walking in human form, beaten by a world they never had the guts to fight. Do you want to be like them? Or do you want to be something more? The path to greatness is right in front of you. But it's wrapped in fire. It's lined with pain. It's drenched in suffering. And the only way to the other side is to walk straight the fuck through it. Most men won't. But you can. You have to get this through your head. Every second of suffering you endure is a deposit into your future. Every drop of sweat, every ounce of pain, every brutal, lonely moment, it's building something inside you. It's not punishment. It's preparation. It's forging you into the kind of man who doesn't flinch, who doesn't break, who doesn't fold under pressure. It's making you unfucking breakable. Pain is temporary, but quitting, that shit lasts forever. That's why you push. That's why you grind when your legs are shaking. That's why you keep fucking going when your body begs for mercy, when your mind tells you to stop. Because every time you push through, you kill weakness. You bury doubt. You get one step closer to becoming the savage you were meant to be. People will look at you and think you were lucky. They'll whisper about how it must be nice while they rot in mediocrity. But they didn't see the grind. They didn't see the nights you bled while they slept. They didn't feel the pain you embraced, the silence you suffered, the moments you kept swinging when everyone else fucking quit. Because you made the choice to fucking suffer. You chose to embrace the pain. You welcomed the struggle. You looked life dead in the eye and said, I refuse to be average. I will not fucking settle. And that choice separates you from the herd of soft excuse-making, comfort-chasing nobodies that fill this world. So ask yourself right now, what kind of man are you going to be? The kind who cries about how hard life is? The kind who scrolls through his phone all day, jerking off his potential with distractions and bullshit? The kind who bows down to weakness, calling it realistic? Or are you the kind who fucking stands up? The kind who grits his teeth, clenches his fists, and says, let's fucking go. The kind who runs towards suffering because he knows that's the only way to win, to rise, to fucking dominate. The answer is in your hands. You're not a tree. You're not chained. You're not a victim. You either choose the fire or you die in the shadows. And if you choose pain, if you choose to suffer for your dreams, to sacrifice, to push past the limit again and again, then nothing on this planet can fucking stop you. Now go out there and prove it. Most men will never embrace suffering. Not because they physically can't, but because they're mentally weak as fuck. They've been trained, programmed to believe that pain is the enemy. That struggle means failure. That comfort is the goal. Society wants you soft, broke, obedient, and numb. They want you sedated by screens, fake dopamine, and just enough money to keep your mouth shut. And that's why most men never become shit. Because the second you run from discomfort, the second you flinch, the second you convince yourself that life should be easy, you lose. You sign the death warrant on your own potential. You see it everywhere. Grown-ass men trapped in jobs they hate, staring at the clock like prisoners, fat as fuck, broken, numb, miserable. They hate their lives, but they don't do a goddamn thing to change it. They talk, they complain, but they never move. Why? Because change requires suffering. It requires discipline when motivation is dead. It requires grinding when your body is cooked, when your mind is screaming quit. It requires sacrifice when everyone else is partying, resting, scrolling. And that, right fucking there, is where most men break. Not because they're incapable, not because they're unlucky, but because they've convinced themselves that pain is wrong. That hard equals bad. That easy equals happiness. And that lie is the reason they stay fucking average. But nothing in this world is fucking easy. Everything you want, everything is sitting on the other side of pain. And if you don't have the guts to walk through that pain, guess what? You'll stay exactly where you are. Weak, powerless, invisible, irrelevant. This is why most men will die as nobodies. They'll rot 6 feet under with all their potential, all their ambition, all their fire buried right next to them. Because they were given the same 24 hours. They had the same damn chances, but they didn't have the balls to suffer. They wanted the glory without the grind. They wanted to win without bleeding for it. Life doesn't work like that. The universe doesn't reward lazy, soft, excuse-making little punks. It rewards the ones who don't give a fuck about comfort. It rewards the relentless savages who wake up every day ready to do what the weak won't. It rewards those who embrace the suffering everyone else runs from. Fear is the leash that keeps most men in cages. The fear of pain, of failing, of being judged. But fear is bullshit. It's an illusion. A mental cage built by your own weak-ass thoughts. And the only way to smash it is through action. Every time you grind through pain, every time you silence the voice telling you to quit, you're killing that fear. You're training your mind to go harder, on to go further, to become a fucking weapon. Because pain is the forge. It's where warriors are molded. If you refuse to walk into that fire, you'll never be anything but another average, forgettable motherfucker lost in the crowd. And here's the raw, disgusting truth. Most men don't want to be great. They say they do. They talk about goals, success, legacy. But it's all noise. Because when the sacrifice shows up, when the suffering knocks at their door, they run like bitches. They pick Netflix over discipline. They pick beer over the grind. They pick comfort over purpose. Then they have the audacity to ask why nothing in their life ever changes. You either suffer the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. One burns now. The other haunts you for the rest of your fucking life. There is no cheat code, no easy button, no secret routine. The only way to win in this brutal world is through pure, relentless suffering. Through dragging yourself through hell while everyone else is asleep. Through showing up broken, tired, alone, and doing it anyway. Over and over again. That's what separates the winners from the weak. The ones who rise are the ones who suffer and refuse to fucking quit. The ones who keep swinging when the world is trying to bury them. The ones who aren't afraid of the pain. They fucking crave it. And here's the best fucking part. Once you embrace the suffering, once you train your mind to thrive in pain, nothing can stop you. The shit that breaks other men. It bounces off you. The challenges that make the weak fold like lawn chairs. That shit fuels you. You become the kind of man who walks through fire, smiles at the flames, and comes out harder than steel. And when the soft, excuse-ridden, comfort-addicted masses look at you, they won't get it. They'll be confused. They'll wonder, how the fuck did he do it? How did he become so cold? So sharp? So fucking untouchable? But they'll never know. Because they never made the choice. They never forced themselves to bleed for it. They never stepped into the pain. They never looked in the mirror and said, I'm ready to suffer for this. So ask yourself, right fucking now, are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to endure the pain, the discomfort, the daily war that will mold you into something lethal? Or will you be like the rest, comfortable, soft, invisible? The choice is yours. But remember this. Every second you waste running from pain is a second you could have spent becoming a fucking beast. Time is running out. Every day you play nice with comfort, your dream slips further away. The difference between the winners and the losers in this life is simple as fuck. One group is willing to suffer. The other isn't. That's it. That's the entire fucking game. You look at the hardest men alive. The warriors, the legends, the killers. And they all share one thing. They endured pain while the rest ran from it. They didn't hope for easy. They didn't pray for a break. They went looking for the fire and threw themselves into it again and again until their minds turned to iron. That's why they lead. That's why they dominate. That's why the weak watch from the sidelines. But the problem is most people are fucking brainwashed. They think pain is bad. They think struggle is unfair. They think suffering is some kind of curse from the universe. They don't realize suffering is the fucking key. It's the gift. It's the forge. It's where real men are made. Without the struggle, you stay weak. Without pain, you remain just another faceless voice in the crowd talking about success, but never touching it. And that's why the world is filled with men who talk shit but never move. Men who say, I'm going to change, I'll start tomorrow, just waiting for the right time. Fucking liars, because deep down, they know they don't have the balls to suffer. And that's why they never become anything more than average. Because that's what separates the few from the many. The few are willing to suffer, and the rest are terrified of it. They want the body, but not the workouts. They want the bank account, but not the grind. They want the power, the freedom, the control, but not the late nights, the failure, the brutal fucking sacrifice it takes to get there. But it doesn't work that way. It never fucking has. Suffering is the fucking entry fee for greatness. If you're not willing to pay that price, stop lying to yourself about being great. It's that simple. The second you stop dodging pain and start welcoming it like an old friend, you unlock God-tier power. Because when you train your mind to stay calm in chaos, when cold doesn't shake you, hunger doesn't break you, fatigue doesn't slow you, you become fucking untouchable. Most men, they crumble the second shit gets hard. One bad day and they're done. One failure and they fold. But the killers, the high-level motherfuckers who dominate life, they refuse to quit. They get up when they're exhausted. They hit the gym when their body says rest. They drag themselves through hell and say, is that all you've got? They don't cry. They convert pain into fuel. Every moment of suffering. That's your edge. Every workout when you feel like you've got nothing left in the tank. That's another piece of armor being built. Every late night grinding while everyone else is asleep. That's another layer of separation between you and the average. You are widening the gap. Pain is the fucking currency of success. You either pay now or you live broke. Broke in your body, your mind, your bank account, your soul. And here's the cold truth. Most men will never know what it feels like to be powerful. Truly fucking powerful. They'll never feel what it's like to walk into a room and have everyone sense it. They'll never look in the mirror and see a savage looking back. Why? Because they never suffered enough to become that man. They ran from the fire. They chose comfort over evolution. They chose softness. And softness is a slow death. But that doesn't have to be you. Right now, you've got a decision to make. You can keep doing what you've always done. Sleeping in, skipping workouts, bullshitting yourself with excuses. Or you can choose to suffer on fucking purpose. Wake up earlier, train when you're sore, grind when you're tired. Do what the weak won't. Because the second you make that decision, you separate yourself from the entire fucking planet. You won't need motivation anymore. You won't crave validation. You'll stop giving a fuck what people think. Because you'll know. You earned your strength in the trenches. You bled for it. You built it through the kind of pain that makes lesser men quit. Most people will read this, nod their heads, and go right back to scrolling and wasting time. They'll say, tomorrow I'll start. But tomorrow is the lie that buries dreams. Tomorrow turns into next year, and next year turns into a lifetime of regret. There is no tomorrow. There's only right fucking now. So I'll ask you one final time. Are you really willing to do what it takes? Not just when it's easy. Not when the sun's out and your playlist is fire. But every single goddamn day, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. Because if you are, you become unstoppable. No setback, no pain, no failure can kill a man who's already been through hell and kept walking. You become the man others fear. The one who thrives in the same suffering that breaks the weak. And when you reach that level, when the pain becomes your weapon, when the suffering becomes your superpower, you'll understand why every legend lives by one truth. The more you suffer, the stronger you become. At the end of the fucking day, your entire life boils down to one decision. Will you suffer for greatness, or will you take the easy way out and stay weak as fuck? That's it. That's the line in the sand. That's the divider between the killers who conquer this life and the cowards who spend their days pointing fingers, bitching, and blaming everything but themselves. That's where you fuck up. Blaming your circumstances, blaming the past, blaming other people, and standing on the sidelines watching other men take what should have been yours. The truth is savage, but it's simple as hell. Every great man has suffered more than you can comprehend, and every weak man has spent his life avoiding that suffering like it's a plague. So ask yourself, which one are you going to be? Most people, they lie to themselves every single fucking day. They talk about success, but when it's time to choose between pain and comfort, they fold. They say they want to be in shape, but they skip the gym because they're tired like little bitches. They say they want money, but they waste hours scrolling, jerking off their time instead of building something. They talk about discipline, but when shit gets hard, they quit. Just like every other fucking loser. And then they have the nerve to wonder why they're stuck. The world doesn't reward intentions. It rewards results. Nobody gives a shit about what you wanted to do. No one respects almost. You either fucking did it or you didn't. You either forced yourself through the suffering or you gave up like everybody else. But here's the tragedy. The gut-wrenching truth that will haunt most of these men. They will never realize how powerful they could have been. They'll never see the beast they had buried inside them because they never suffered enough to wake it the fuck up. Imagine if you did the hard shit every single time. Imagine if instead of quitting, you forced yourself through the fire. Imagine if you had chosen pain every time comfort showed up. Where the fuck would you be right now? What kind of monster would you have become? The life you want is real, but it's on the other side of suffering. And there's no backdoor, no cheat code, no easy way in. You get there by embracing the grind, the pain, the misery, without hesitation, without fear, without excuses. Understand this. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your greatest fucking ally. Every second you spend suffering is sharpening your mind, hardening your soul, building a version of you that the world will never be ready for. While the rest of the world complains about how hard life is, you smile. Because you know the truth. You know that this pain, this suffering, this darkness, it's turning you into something fucking unstoppable. Most men will never fucking get it. They think happiness comes from avoiding pain. That's why they chase distractions like junkies. Porn, TikTok, video games, cheap dopamine, or anything to numb the truth staring them in the face. They're fucking weak. But real happiness, it comes from proving to yourself that you're a savage, that you can endure anything, that nothing can fucking break you. And once you hit that level, life becomes simple as hell. No more hesitation, no more self-doubt, no more wasting time like a clueless little bitch. You wake the fuck up and do what needs to be done. Not because you feel like it, but because it's who the fuck you are. You don't need motivation. You don't cry. You don't bitch. You don't look for sympathy because you've trained yourself to thrive in the same hell that breaks most men. Your mind, unbreakable, unfuckwithable. Most people will never feel that. They'll stay trapped in their soft little lives, drowning in comfort, waiting for some magical spark to make it easier. But that moment, it never fucking comes. And they know it. Deep down, they fucking know it. That's why they walk around pissed at the world, full of regret, quiet misery behind dead eyes, because they know they were capable of more. And that pain, that gut-wrenching realization that you had the chance to be great, but you were too weak to suffer for it. That's the worst pain on earth. That's what'll haunt you on your deathbed. Not the mistakes, not the failures, but the fact that you never even tried hard enough to find out what the fuck you were made of. You're at a crossroads right now. You can walk away, go back to your soft-ass routine, keep telling yourself someday. Or you can fucking decide. Decide that you're going to suffer on purpose. That you're going to wake up earlier than everyone. That you're going to train when your body begs you to quit. That you're going to outwork every lazy bastard who talks but never executes. You're going to chase discomfort. You're going to stop negotiating with weakness. You're going to become the man who does what soft men won't. You're going to suffer more than anyone else. And because of that, one day you'll stand at the fucking top while they rot in the same place they've always been. But hear me. If you don't do it now, you never will. You'll keep lying to yourself. You'll keep waiting. You'll keep pretending the perfect time is around the corner. And spoiler alert, it's not. It never was. Winners act in spite of their feelings. They suffer because they know pain leads to power. They don't wait for permission. They fucking take what's theirs. So what are you going to do? Step up, suffer, dominate, or keep hiding, keep lying, keep pretending. Because this is it. There's no later. There's no next time. There's only right fucking now. If you don't choose suffering, you are choosing weakness. If you don't choose discipline, you're choosing to fail. If you don't choose to become a savage, you're choosing to stay small. The choice is yours. But remember this. Every second you hesitate, some other motherfucker is out there suffering for the life you say you want. And when that time comes, he'll be on top. And you'll still be sitting there wondering what the fuck happened.